The market is crashing, the market is crashing, the market is crashing, the market is crashing! Actually, that's not gonna happen. And let me tell you why. Before I tell you why the market is not gonna crash, let me tell you why it did crash back in 08. So just like me, a millennial in high school from 06 to 08, 09, I was sitting in class and all I heard about was the recession, the Great Recession. You're never gonna be able to get jobs. The housing market is going crazy and it's crashing. So why did that happen? Very simple reason. Back in 08, you could get what's called a subprime mortgage. Essentially, the borrowers with lower credit scores and borrowers who weren't financially able to purchase were able to get loans at that time. The reason this was allowed is because the government essentially wanted everybody to be able to obtain the American dream of home ownership. Now, the way they were able to do this is by giving borrowers who weren't qualified subprime loans, and those subprime loans have what are called adjustable rate mortgages, or ARMs. Now, what an ARM does is you start at a specific mortgage payment, something that's very comfortable for you, and then in a few years, depending on the type of ARM that you have, your mortgage payment goes up. So when the ARMs kicked in and the mortgage payments would go up, people were obviously not able to afford their mortgage anymore. They couldn't rent out their house for more than what the mortgage payment was, so they were left with no choice but to sell and foreclose. Now, the reason you might think that the market is going to crash and why it sounds familiar, or the environment feels familiar from those times between 06 and 08, is because last year you guys were buying homes or selling homes or hearing about somebody that was buying or selling a home that sold for $50,000 over, $100,000 over. Personally, I had a client that submitted an offer on a home $180,000 over, and we got beat out by somebody else. So I think that what was happening is that people were hearing about these stories or being a part of this situation, and they were thinking like, there's no way people can actually afford these homes. But that's not the case. Although people were removing all contingencies on their contracts, they still had to get appraisals. And if the homes did not appraise, then the borrower had to bring the extra cash to close. So it's not like the requirements that the lenders had for a borrower to be able to purchase a home were not being met. So we're safe there. So now let me tell you why the market is sustainable and it's not going to crash. Number one, the interest rates are low. So buyers have more opportunity to purchase and more buying power with interest rates being as low as they've been. For the last 2 years, interest rates have been more or less 3%. So this gives new buyers entering the market access to purchase more expensive homes. Interest rates are lower, buying power is higher. It's as simple as that. The second reason is we're in a low inventory environment. This is simple supply and demand. There are more buyers in the market who want to purchase homes than there are homes to sell. This creates multiple offer situations on homes that are on the market, which just naturally will increase the sales price as people are bidding against each other. Number three, I mentioned this many times in this video, millennials. Millennials are now entering the real estate market. Millennials were unable to enter the real estate market in the last decade because of student loan debt and inflation, and jobs were not paying as much out of college as they were previously. Now millennials are earning higher income. A lot of millennials are now having dual income in their household, and they have more buying power, are now able to purchase homes. And with the low inventory, they're competing constantly. So the market is safe, it's not gonna crash. This is still a really good time for you to buy a home. It's also a good time for you to sell a home because you may be the only home sitting on the market that one of the low inventory buyers are looking for. So if you are in the market to purchase a home or to sell a home, reach out to me in the DMs or schedule a call with me in the link below.